Good afternoon, everybody. Apologies for a little bit late. We're having blinds fitted. I know I promised you ages ago, but we're actually having them done. So when you come to Sanntangle HQ, we're not going to have all the light coming on the screens. So I hope everybody's okay today. It's a bit dark here, but other than that, we're doing fine. What have we got today then? I've got my tile, regular tile. I've got a pink one actually from the sorbets. I've got my regular pen, pencil, tortillon, all the usual things that we're going to work in. Definitely a pencil today because a little bit of construction-ish. But other than that, it's all good. I think we've recuperated from this weekend. It was fabulous. So thanks to everybody who came, and I know you've been seeing pictures and things posted, so it's really quite good. Well, here we go then. So what have I done with this? I've actually I've inked using a purple and a blue ink pad, and then I've actually just gone and I went and stood out in the rain for about a second, and then I've let this dry naturally. So rather than using salt, we've got those sort of larger areas there. But I thought that'd be quite nice to draw on today. So here we go. I'm going to go a bit larger. First thing then, wherever you want to start, I'm going to sort of work about the middle-ish, and I'm in with pencil. Okay. So let's have a look. I've got quite a nice light spot there. So I've said that. I'm going to make it darker in a little bit. That's okay. Let's put a little bit. I want an oval in there. Okay. Let's put that in. See where that's going to go. Okay. So we go. An oval in there. And I think it's damp in the UK everywhere today, isn't it? At least we've not got the fog that we had yesterday. It's just not got light at all, really. Okay, bit of an oval. Oh, Derbyshire, I know. I used to live in Derbyshire, Christine. Yeah, I used to live in Tipshelf. All right. So first things first, I'm gonna come in with a pencil. I just think it's nice just to get to grips with what it is we're doing. So I'm going to stay with it for a minute. I'm going to oar around there because we're going to need that in a short while. There we go. We did use quite a lot of pencil at the weekend, you know, just as construction. And I know it's a little more comfortable for you. Oh, Christine, did I? Small world, hey? Okay. So imagine where centre is. Okay. And what I want to do is I'm going to come out and create a bit of a curve here. This is why we wanted to do it in pencil, because I know what you like with your curves. You wanted it right. And then let's put a bubble in. Okay. And hello, Brenda. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, it's, well, just gone 2 in the afternoon here, so I'm going to do a thin aura. I think we'll do the auras as we go, because I just want to sort of work out exactly what the width is here. Okay. And then what I do is I'm going to come back round, make it a bit wider, see? And then again, I'm going to put another little aura in there. Yeah. So let's take this all the way around. So we've got that kind of shape going in there. Okay, I'm going to draw that in pen now. So here we go. We've got the bubble. And then we've drawn a round. Let's take that all the way in. I know we did quite a sort of an obvious, notable image on Friday. So today I wanted to do something a little bit different. Okay, nice thin aura there. There it is. Then here I'm actually going to come probably there. I'm going to make the aura a bit thinner. And so I'm going to ignore that line and I'm going to come inside there. There it is. So we've got this sort of bubble coming out a little bit more. Oh, Sue, you've got the sunshine today then. So let's do that there. And of course we don't need that little bit in the middle there, do we? Hence we did that bit in pencil. So let's do the same thing again. I'll say same thing, similar. I'm going to put yeah, I don't need it to be sort of smack bang centre-y, the same or an image. I'm going to put that bubble in. So let's draw that in. Okay, and then now I know what I'm doing. I can come in with pen, and I'm aiming to come round and up to this point here. Or you could go this way, bring it round, you see, and it's going to come on in and join that there. But again, if you prefer to do this in pencil, then you can go ahead and do it in pencil. So there it is. There's my first little aura. Alright, let's join that one in. And see this one, how it's a little bit thicker? So we can do that. Let's bring it in. Again, turn your tile as you're going. Don't sort of struggle to try and see what you're doing or where you're going. And then a nice sort of thin aura along that bit there. Okay, that's why we've sort of kept this bit in pencil, so we can remove that little bit there. Okay. So oh, look at that. Looks like two little ears or parts of a hat coming through, doesn't it? I'm going to fill it with a swirl. And then again. And again. Now you notice this time I'm actually starting from the outside and working my way in. So I'm not starting, you know, as we normally do, small and then going outwards. I'm filling the space first and then coming in with my curl there. There it is. And again. And another. See? So this time you can do the same, but I think what I'm going to do is go in the opposite direction. So we've got curls going in different ways. There you are. And a lock. And I'm just going to keep that going again, all the way around. I think it's going to be a little bit of a reminder, isn't it, having this tile and what kind of weather we were having. I mean, that part of it is rainwater. Quite a nice idea. I'm not quite sure if I'd do it when it was a complete downpour, but I managed to just sort of get a few on there. Nice, interesting background. Okay, so I'm going to come in and see these little gaps. I'm going to make a gap there. Just fill them in with a bit of ink. And just going up to that little line there. And along we go. It just makes a difference, doesn't it, when you start to add that little bit of ink in. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to, while I'm here, I'm going to put a little bubble there. See if I've got a thicker pen. Oh yes. Got my 08. And let's fill that in. And just leave that little highlight there. And I might as well do the same with this while I'm here. Let's fill in that little bit there. There we go. And then back to filling these little bits in. And again, you could do this with a thicker pen. They're quite small, so I'm going to just sort of keep on with this. And of course you could fill this with bubbles. You could do it with a different colour. Whatever works for you. There it is. So, just adding that little bit in. I think it does make a difference. All right. So there we go. Two little Two little horny can shapes. That's really quite sweet, isn't that letter? So what we're going to do within this, I think we'll start on the top section first. What I'm going to do is, I'm not going to draw it in yet. I'm going to draw a curve sort of above it, following the shape. And then I'm going to add another a top. So I've got a little bit of a moon shape. And then another. You don't want to do these too thin, because I want to add a little bit of something inside there. Notice this one's smaller than this one. And then I think it sort of feels like it's going this way, so if I do another one, what you see, I've done it more on that side and around, and then I'm going to do another one. So again, I'm putting it more to this side and to there. All right. So let's have a look at one of these little shapes. It had teeth in it. I'm going to just put a little line on the inside there. So I said, don't go too thin with it. I'm going to do all of them at the same time. Might as well. There you go. And then, just as before, I'm going to add in these little curls. Now you notice I didn't start there. This is giving me a better sort of vision. I could come in and do some smaller ones after, but I always find doing a full sort of size and shape one first helps with getting the flow of the pen. And that's how it sort of works there. Yeah, I wouldn't start in the middle with these, because then you've got to sort of work out where your curl's going to start and end, but definitely on a space that's full, so you're not trying to squeeze a tiny little one in. There you are. Okay. There's a bit of a face, isn't it? I know. Didn't plan it that way. I know we all see different things. I just wanted to put some really nice little tangles together and make something a little bit different. Oh, I know, Glennis. I know what you mean, Glennis. And this lovely gentleman turned up to come and measure our windows for blinds. And I kept saying, all right, I'm going live now, and he kept talking. Like, I'd love to talk to you and tell you what we do, but I really need to get onto the live. Okay, so we've got these little curls in there. It's really small there, so I'm not going to try and get in and add any black pen. If yours is a bit wider, that's fine. What I am going to do though, start in the middle. You see, you've got something you can repeat with that shape. See how it sort of works its way up? And then I'm going to create little teeth. Right now, I'm going to create these little sections here until I don't have any more space left. And the same on this side. Again, I'm just going to keep following that curved shape there. And then up and along. And then there. So I've got these little stripes. I know, Chris. I know, just these little things all help. He wanted to show me lots of colours. I was like, great. Just do great. There you go. They're there to serve a purpose. All right. So we've got this kind of a shape. All right, looks like a little, I don't know, with a nose with a hat. All right, so let's bring a little line. I'm going to use pencil again. I'm going to bring a little line in and across. And I'm going to draw a bubble on the end, but it's not going to go all the way around. I'm going to stop it, so I've got that line in the middle there, see? And then another. I'm going to do them different sizes, but again, always stopping it. I'm not going to go over the top there. I'm going to rub that out in a short while. But I'm going to do a few more. Okay. Chris, I know. Oh. And then let's join this one up. I'm going to go a bit bigger there so you could see what I was doing. So I'm coming down one side of that line, drawing a little curve, and then back up the other. So it's a bit like a little cord going through the bead. See? Like so. So of course we will rub out that line, we won't need it soon. It looks like, there we go. It's going underneath, yeah? Okay, let's look at the whole tile. I'm going to put another one of those in. Let's have another one. Again, I'm going to put the curve in because it's nice to see where you're going with it. And I think on the bottom of this one, I'm going to change the shape, put like a little heart shape in. But again, I'm still going to leave that little gap. And not going to go too big with the little beads this time. Maybe a bigger one there. Not when you're going to see part of it. Okay. And the same as before. I know it's a different shape, but we'll still use the same sort of technique for putting the cord in. There it is. All right, I like that. Okay. So let's bring in a couple of other bits and pieces. So I want to come out with, oh, let's do that bit first. Getting carried away. Again, I've still got that pencil line, so I'm still going to leave that till I've finished doing what I'm doing. So I'm going to bring in, let's go this way, a little line. I want a bit of space at the side. And a second. And then bubble on the end, and I'm going to fill in both sides. And let's then go around and in. Let's go a bit bigger then. I know you know what's coming, but just in case there's somebody out there that doesn't know what we're doing there, see a little extra line, and then another slightly smaller. Smaller again, and again, and again, and again, and again. So we've got nothing left. There you are. So bringing it back in. I'm going to do another. This time I'm going to take it this way. And again, a line on the side of it. And around and putting a little hole either side. And then along we go. And again. Here we go. You see, it just sort of has a bit of a life of its own. See? I'm going to put another one in. So this time it's going to go underneath all of those. But I'm going to sort of have it a little bit further in, so it's not all around the edge there. And around we go and fill in. And just add in those little shapes on the top. Of course, it depends on how big you want these. You can have them all sorts of different sizes. Elizabeth, anything new? What do you think? I'm not sure if I should tell you. I should wait for it to be a surprise. But I do always try to bring something new. So, and because it's the highlight, as that's what they're calling it now, at 7 o'clock in the morning, it would be rather rude not to have something new, wouldn't it? There you go, see, it's hiding around there. And hello, Ree. I know what you mean. I've been trying to prep today, but it's not quite all gone to plan. Well, that's okay. We've had a busy day. See, this one just looks like there's one peeking out underneath there. And I'll bring one in along here as well. There you go. See again, filling the sides all around. And in we go with these little shapes. Okay, it's nice. It's a little bit sort of not sea life, but yeah. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm going to bring in, and again, I'm not going to worry too much about it being over the top of this now. So let's see, I've got my little sort of sketch of my, well, I'm going to put a couple of bubbles in, not too small, so they can sort of overlap a bit there. So I'm going behind there, see. Okay, I say not too small, I'm going to put the odd one in there. And maybe a couple in there. I don't want to completely fill that gap, but I do want some in and around. Let's have a few over here too. There you are. So start back over here. Now usually when we do this sort of design, we'd go all the way across, but I'm gonna try and create a little bit of a band with a gap in the middle there, you see? And then add a little line either side again with that same gap. So we've got a little bit of a highlight in the middle there. So I'm going to turn it round because I don't want these all facing the same way. And do the same thing again. A thick line in the middle and a thin either side. And turn it round, same again. Little lines. And again. Now if yours are really small and you can't get 3 lines in, so great example, this one here, I'm just going to add 1 in. Yeah, don't try and force it. And this one here, because I can only see part of it, sits behind. So let's search out the rest of those bubbles then. Some here, look. Again, a thicker one in the middle and thin ones either side. And that one. I think sometimes you have to focus a bit more with these. I mean, if you find that you've done it and you've gone completely straight through, then you can just use a white pen and put that highlight back in. But, this way it doesn't sort of take away the colour behind, does it? Because the white pen's really going to stand out on this. Okay, some more there, look. And don't forget, keep sort of turning your tile round because you want to get them in different directions. There we are. Okay. And the next one. There we go. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Let's see what's going on there. There we go. They're really nice, aren't they? How they're sort of all wandering out and about like that. So I think at this point I'm now going to draw in whatever the parts of the oval I can see there. One last, do I want it? Yeah. I'm just going to put another one of those in. I think it just needs one there. And again, follow it round and add in these little shapes there. Okay, or maybe do oh, decisions to do, decisions. All right, I'm going to leave it for a minute. I'm going to bring in another line. So this time, same as before on the first bit. And then the next one I'm going to do, it's coming in as before, but it's going to come to a point. Okay, see that? So it's weaved its way in and it's come to a point. So if I then zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to create, I'm not going to do a swoop, I'm just going to come out and round. See? Out and round. You've got like a little leaf shape. So let's go back out. Let's have another one. Sometimes, you know, rather than trying to find where that is, do the pointy bit first. put your leaf on. And then you can sort of work it back to where you think it would go. That, I think, sometimes makes life a bit easier than trying to work it all through to start with. See this? You've got to follow it through kind of thing. And then you can get lost with it, can't you? So, out and round, out and round. Let's have a look. So if we do this here, you can see then it needs to go under there. You're not going to see much more of that. Up and round, up and round. So let's put another one in. And again, they don't have to all be completely out there. They can be part in. See, you're going to see a bit of that in there. Let's have one here. And then another sort of coming from behind but further up. Yeah. And then here, let's just put a couple of little curves and loops, curves and loops. It's got to go underneath there. See, with the loops we can take them in or out. It's whatever works for you. Curves and loops. You can add as many of those as you like. See there, put one, but if you look at it, your eye's got to follow it. It's got to go under somewhere. All right, so let's draw in this little shape. So where was I? There's the definite section there. See, and then we've got to work out where it's going underneath, which is why we did it in pencil first. I'm going to do that bit at the same time, I think. And I'm going to see it a little clearer. This is a great time if you need to shape it a little bit. And then along, in it goes there. Sort of, there you go, see, in there. All right, now we really need to focus on this bit. I'm going to come in with my thicker pen and I'm going to find all the bits that don't have any sort of stems, and it's sort of the part of that original oval. See there, look, that bit. So even if you do this in pencil and just sort of put little crosses in the spaces. Oh, see, I've gone out there, didn't need to. Get carried away when you're talking. There you go, see? I'll sort that in a minute. And this one here. See there, let's have a look. A little bit in there. I can come back in like with my 3 and just sort of neaten it up a little bit. There we are. And then last little bit here. There you go. And just sort of fill in those little gaps there. Okay, let's have a look at that. So again, you can come in and neatly just in a little bit. Hinge it round. Let's have a look at it then. Okay, so see here where I've actually gone out a little bit further because this, look, was my edge. That's okay. What I can do, there's all different ways of sort of doing different things like this. Is you can repeat bits on the other edge. You could go over it with a different colour pen. We can add some little bubbles in there and just make it a little bit darker in there too. See there, let's put some bubbles in and fill that bit as well. So it sort of looks like it's sort of coming out anyway, so I don't mind that. Didn't always plan it that way, but I don't mind that. There we go. So a couple of extra little bits. I want to just do then coming back on itself with a dot. Back on itself and a dot. Let's put a little zinger in there now. If you've not done zingers before, a little line with a bobble, and then see little curves. So it's similar to this one, but it's almost skeletal-like compared to. And let's put another one in over here. There you go. And I think maybe just one in there. There we go. All right then, so let's have a look. I'm going to come in. Oh, it helps if I put the 08 lid on my 08 pen. Let's bring the pencil in. So first things first is these two here, very, very prominent parts. So I'm definitely going to be adding pencil to those two. Sort of on the inside there. And then a little bit further up on the sides. And then underneath that bubble there. And again, you can do that on both sides. And I'm going to do a little bit over the top of the bubble there. And then I'm going to join it. There you go. Said it was going to be a little bit random today, didn't I? Quite like that idea. I'm going to bring a bit of coloured pencils in as well in a bit. So these little stripes, I'm going to add some pencil either side of the line. Not too much, just a little bit. Start on each one there. And I know you think, well, I'll just put the one lot in, but I do like to do both sides. There it is. There you go. All right. And then where we've got this oval shape, I'm going to put some pencil just on the inside edge, wherever you can spot it. And there, let's have a look. More little shapes here, both sides. So let's find those. And there. And there. I always find that I forget one. I might have to go back and do it later. That's okay. Oh, Wendy, you could, yeah. It's quite a nice little abstract-y piece, isn't it? That would work well for a few different bits and pieces. A little highlight on each of those. Now, little bubbles. I'm gonna, only if they're big enough, add a little bit either side, but as I say, only if they're big enough. There we go. Alright, see in there, just get a little bit. You see, I've not done the all the bead yet, actually. I'm not going to do pencil on that. I'm going to use coloured pencil in that one. But I'm going to blend this in first and see what happens. Singer's just going to go one side with those, because they're quite fine. Just one side. And okay, tortillon. There we go. So first thing is in with these sections here. And then where you've got them extending up, I'm just going to soften it off a little bit on either side. Same with this one. And then of course just sort of down this bit too, a bit round there. Same with this one. Okay, bit right at the top. And then of course, only our little zingery shapes. I'm going to highlight both sides. A little bit of blending out with our little leaves. You notice with those I've switched to swirls. Just helps that graphite just to travel that little bit more. Just filling them in as I go. See those little ones hardly need anything, just a tiny little touch to soften. There we go. And just sort of swirling it round in there, and of course back into this one. A little bit round there. Again, just be gentle with this. We don't want to completely cover the whole of that sort of shape there. And then I've got some little bubbles, need a little bit of work. Okay, working on my little stripes, so I'm going to soften both sides. But if possible, see, I want to leave a little bit in the middle, a little bit of a gap. There you go. Hey Chris, I've not seen anybody else say they've got a problem with sound, so it might be you, I don't know. So follow the picture. You mute me anyway, I'm sure, when you watch it again. Okay. So let's have a quick look at that. What's that little bit to do there? So I'm going to bring in my white chalky pencil. It just needs a little bit of highlighting with that first. Let's have a look. So start with the lines. We're going to put a little white line through the middles. I'm only going to go through once, so if it doesn't quite take, it's not seriously strong, it doesn't matter. Just need that little highlight there. And again, depending on what colour tile you use, it might not show. It's just giving it a little bit of a shape there, see? And bringing that little bit of a white around that top edge. I'm going to do it there, so it's quite spaced, but I'm not going to go all the way around with that. I'm just going to do that little bit. Zingers need a little bit on the, oh there it is, look, the other side. Now, you look at our little bubbles, where we've got that little highlight, we can come in, look, and still add that little white line there. There you go, see mine are hiding underneath there. And a few in there. Straight up the centre of those. Yeah, got quite a few of those. And then on my little leaves, I'm just going to add a highlight, you know, to the opposite side of where I put my original pencil marks. There we go. So let's have a look at the beads. I'm going to bring some coloured pencils in for this. Just think it's nice to have a little bit of something. So what have I got? Now, being that I've got a purple tile, I'm going to go in with blues and purpley colours. So I'm not going to keep it, there you go. I'm not going to keep it too serious, just adding a little bit of colour in. Here we go. So let's add in a little bit. Now, just a little bit. I'm not going to add too much. You see, leaving a little bit of a highlight. There it is. Oh, have I, Sue? Oh, I'll go back and I'll do it in a minute. I always miss a little bit. I'll do my little beads first. Okay, so always leaving a little bit of the paper underneath. Let's do the same with that one there. I've got one in here as well, actually, so I'm going to use that colour. Put that one in there, so you can just see it sneaking in. Put it there as well. Looking at this, that needs a little bit of blackness there. Okay. Oh, and just sort of add those little bits of colour into those beads. A little bit. Oh, now I'm going to go. Oh, Decision's purple there. Let's have a look. Okay. So, oh yeah, there's highlight needed there. That's it. I think just while I've got that little bit of colour in, let's just move in a bit. Just going to bring a little bit just along those little shapes, just at the sides. Now you can use all the same colour. I'm going to mix and match it a bit. There you go. There's a little bit there went out. A little bit at the top. Let's have a look at that. Okay. There we go. So just a little bit more pencil, I think. Let's have a look. I'm going to sort of come in, let's turn it round, just underneath these little shapes. And of course, soften out with that torchon again. Just a little bit. Now I'm going to also, I think, have a look at the background. Now this might be different depending on what you're going to do with your background, because I've got quite a few splashes. So I'm going to come in with my highlighter pencil again, my white, and I'm going to just pick a couple of little bits and just actually add them in. Just as they were part of what we're doing here. Because they're so big, it's nice to sometimes include these things. Yeah, makes a difference, doesn't it? See a couple there, look. I've got more at the top than the bottom. There you go. Being that there's sort of a purpley colour, let's just add a little bit of colour in there. Only very lightly. It's just sort of, see that one goes to the bluey colour. Adding little bits in there. Go. I think as well, do you know, a bit of shading there. Sometimes, you know, you have to look at your tile before you can think, well, actually, what do I want to do with it? And in places, I think sometimes it needs a little bit more colour, a bit more work. It's nice to have a little bit of freedom, isn't it? That you don't have to keep to the exact design if you don't want to. You can move it around a little bit. There you go. I know, thank you, Sue. I got it in the end. I'd got a bit there missing as well, see, so I think we both spotted a bit. And yeah, I like this little bit here. A little bit darker with that. Because I've got a colour on already, I can get away with a little bit of a heavier colour, but it depends on what kind of tile you've got as to whether you can do that. There you go, just bringing them out a little bit. There you go, I think even a little bit there, look. Yeah. See, now Nadia said, Sandra, you're faffing, stop it. So, there we go. It's just nice, isn't it, with those little bits there, having that little bit of a highlight in. So whichever way you want to sort of use it, really. I don't know which way I want to go. I quite like that way, actually. Or that way. Yeah, quite like that way. Okay, so I think I'm going to sign my name with that one. It is, it's lovely, isn't it? It's very similar to what I drew. And of course, every time you draw this, it's going to look different. But I did the original in my sketchbook. So that's just in monochrome. So I can't show it here because there's other things in there. So yeah, I like that way. Okay, so have a bit of a play with it. See what you can come up with. Imagine doing this, but doing this even longer. Maybe using a tag tile just to sort of extend it a little bit. That would look quite cool. You could actually take it that kind of way if you wanted. So yeah, quite a lot of scope for this one. So okay, other than that, that's it for today. So what do we have going on this week? I'm sure Chris has already posted it. It's going to be Hobby Maker on Thursday with the 2023 calendar. Not the diary yet, it's coming, but definitely the calendar. We've got a little bit of a sea theme going on. And then, of course, Friday, it's tile 294. So not long to go before we get to tile 300. So, okay, have fun with this one, everybody, and take care of yourselves. Stay out of the rain. And I'll see you all again Thursday or Friday. All right, have fun. Bye.